Good morning and welcome back to Talking with Jazz. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope your team did whatever they did. I don't know. I had nothing to do with it. In fact, it's something I avoid. It's a waste of time for me. I've got no idea what they're doing. First game I ever went to, friends said, you got to come. Oh, well, okay. I'll come. Went there and they bounced the ball went up, and then kicked it. We were quite close to front. We were actually very, very close to front. Ball came over our way, then these two guys collided, and then they stopped the game, and then they carried one of the guys off with in a stretcher. Apparently, he broke his back. And that was football for me, and I spent the rest of the day thinking about that broken back, and watching the little boy in front of me colouring in and noticing that he was occasionally crossing the lines, and thought, well, there's someone who really cares about football too. So, why is the dog dying? Well, I knew he was going to die. They all die. All dogs die. It's very rare that you outlive your dog, right? Because you're not going to get a dog in last year and all that sort of stuff. But I knew from the day I got him that he was going to die. Not just because all dogs die, but because I looked it up. Because it was a Labrador. Well, he still is. So I looked up something like how to care for a Labrador. Special hints or something like that. And I came across a website and it explained a little bit about Labradors. And it said, if you buy a Labrador for your 5-year-old, which is what we had just done, because our youngest child had turned 5, which was the trigger for buying a dog. We actually got a dog before we got this Labrador at that 5-year-old youngest child turning 5 trigger point, and we got that dog from a rescue service because, well, there's lots and lots of kind of virtue signalling about having rescue dogs, saving dogs from whatever it is, infinite destruction, which does sound good. The reality is not so good. The dog was crazy, and everybody else who I know who's had a rescue dog has basically ended up with enormous vet bills and or bites and or having to put the dog down prematurely, which was unfortunately what we had to do to our first dog that we bought, triggered by the youngest child turning 5. The dog turned into a disaster. She bit people, she ran away, she bit more people and still ran away. She was uncontrollable and vicious, and when I said to the people that we bought it from, I don't think this dog is for us. They said, why? And I said, because this dog just bit my daughter, and I don't want that to happen again, because as much as I like this dog, I do like my daughter more. And they said, there's nothing you can do. We won't take the dog back because you told us that story. And I said, gee, I just wished I hadn't told that story. Needless to say, I'm glad nobody else got that dog, and in the end of the day, I actually had to get that dog destroyed, which I know some of you will think is rather cruel, but I can tell you, you don't want to be responsible for your child being eaten, or I don't want to be responsible for your child being eaten, or my child being eaten, or whatever. And it has happened, and it will happen again, because people are stupid with dogs. Sorry. Getting back to our Labrador that's currently on death's door. I'm reading this webpage, How to Look After a Labrador. I'm going to get it right this time. We've done the whole rescue dog thing. Let's improve our odds. I'm going to look up some research. So it said, if you buy your 5-year-old a Labrador, then by the time they go to university, the dog will be dead. And it was sort of more pointing to, yes, your dog is not sort of like an overnight thing. Owning a Labrador is a commitment. You need to, we knew all that. But I was kind of more interested in this whole thing about, because I kind of knew that the dog would last about that long. And I was kind of more interested in this whole, the connection between tertiary study and your dog dying. So it was kind of a weird day. The day my dearly beloved called up a tertiary institution to inquire about the eligibility of my once 5-year-old daughter to now go to this particular tertiary institution. And it was on that day that we took the dog to the vet because things weren't going so well. And it was on that day they told us the prognosis was not good. He was going to die. Okay, everyone was sad. We brought him home. We've given him medicine and some bones, and he's quite happy, really. But you know, it's kind of like having a thing hanging over your head. I'm hoping he's going to be fine. But he's not. He's going to die. So on that kind of morbid note, maybe you should be just thinking about football. It's probably better anyway. Why don't you have a great day?